And we're back with yet again another update on XRP for my XRP family. Appreciate you guys as always for showing so much love on these updates. Happy Friday wherever you are around the world. Second last day of the month. And here we have it, seeing quite a substantial drop within the crypto markets over the course of the last, few hours. If you watch my last market analysis update, if you really focus on what I speak, you guys know what has been happening is something we were discussing. If you're looking across the board, a lot of double-digit drop for multiple different assets, but XRP still holding much better than the broader market. And this is what 99.9% of the people overlook. And I'll say this 100 times. You're looking at XRP only down 4.5%, while there are a lot of coins that are down double digits. So, we cannot be ignoring this right now. The price of XRP, $2.18, down 2.6% in BTC. Comparative valuation at $128 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $3.3 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So we're going to start off with this. SharpLink Gaming to raise a staggering $1 billion to acquire Ethereum. Big news coming out. And of course, moving forward, this is something quite interesting. I want to kind of share this with you guys because, of course, during times like this, people tend to forget this. Inside Bitcoin exchange reserves just hit another all-time low. BTC continues flowing off centralized platforms, signaling long-term accumulation by whales, institutions, and governments that prefer non-custodial storage methods. So pretty much what it's showing is we are seeing more and more long-term accumulation happening. And this is something that I would love to tell you guys if you are in the crypto space for the long term, whether you hold XRP or whatever the case may be, you want to take your coins off an exchange, get yourself a hardware wallet, because I don't care which exchange it is, I can never trust an exchange for long term. Obviously, if I'm making a quick trade, maybe I just transfer my funds over to the exchange, do that trade, and then I remove all my coins off of these exchanges. This is why decentralization is the future. But this really shows you where accumulation is going. And we're looking at Bitcoin sitting at a staggering $105,000, which is already not accessible for majority of the world. Who can go out and buy a Bitcoin for $105,000? I'm sure that there's a very slim amount of people when it comes to retail interest, and that tells you how priced BTC is, and yet you're still seeing accumulation for a long term happening. People understand where Bitcoin as an asset class is going. The whole world is behind it, and of course with that demand outweighing the supply, and as more happening happens, it becomes harder to mine Bitcoin. Just changes the game. And look at this. Total circulation RLUSD 310.5 million. RLUSD reserve funds $323.3 million. And speaking about of course, as I said, the mining part, Da Vinci Jeremiah claims Bitcoin mining is becoming a geopolitical arms race now. Currently, the US leads the way with 36% of the total hash rate. You can see this for yourself. But you can clearly see a lot of the world is coming behind Bitcoin, and they're coming in very, very fast because they want to have that piece of the pie. And people are understanding the scarcity of it, and we're talking about the 5th largest asset across the world. It's so much bigger than people expect. 5th largest asset. A few years back, it was not even close to that. So people understand where it's going. It's labeled as the digital gold. Gold is still about like a 10 to 11x in terms of the valuation. So that would still require Bitcoin to climb extreme levels for it to reach those valuations, but never say never. I'm definitely not writing it off, and I do believe Bitcoin has that potential to get to that level based off of my personal opinion. Moving forward, look at this. Remember, Ripple is building the new Wall Street, starting with Hidden Road acquisition. Ripple Post is a strong signal that the Wall Street flood to on-chain finance has begun, and the XRPL is leading the way. Of course, XRPL Ledger it is that one-stop shop. We know about that, and of course it's going to attract more institutional interest. And of course, as tokenization becomes such an important tool, you're going to see bigger entities wanting to tokenize their financial assets, which of course changes the game, how you do finance on a day-to-day basis. And of course, tokenization is what changes that game. It changes the way we do finance, and XRPL Ledger is that one-stop shop, which is very, very interesting and gives us a better understanding where the potential really lies for XRPL Ledger. And if you really truly understand what XRPL Ledger is and how XRP as a native token is treated with that, you understand that the potential where people start getting excited. But you get this from Wisdom Tree. XRP is the only other crypto that stands a chance against Bitcoin. And who is the message for? Not you, not crypto people. It's for governments, corporations, businesses, and large-scale investors looking to enter the crypto space. Cannot agree more. Very well put by Chad. And look at this. Coinbase institution says starting June 13th, we're enabling 24/7 trading for XRP and Solana futures because, of course, these are two digital assets that are leading the way with the ETF filings as well. Because, of course, why do you think these entities are filing, these asset managers are filing for these specific assets? Because, of course, they know the potential for these two assets are there. And bringing in a 24/7 trading would just obviously change the game because, of course, the demand would meet the overall, hype factor. So look at this. So many awesome XRPL Ledger projects at XRP Las Vegas pitching, particularly impressed by the clear go-to market plans and awareness of incoming and existing XRPL features, example, smart escrows and payment channels. Good stuff, folks. Very, very interesting stuff. But let's take a look at what's happening with the price. So you guys can see dominance is picking up. It's showing a lot of strength right now, currently sitting at 64.22%. But if you're looking at BTC here, Bitcoin did break below the 105,000. We actually made it down to 103,800. Obviously, we have significant amount of support still around this range. But if this support does not hold, as I've stated to you guys before in my update literally last night, $102,000 Bitcoin is on the table, and I still think that is a possibility. Obviously, I would love to see BTC closing above 110, which itself is now a move of about 5.13%. I'm still not writing it off, even though we're entering a weekend. On the weekends, more manipulation than usual due to the fact that CME futures are closed. But the tariff conversations slowly but surely are creeping up once again, which also I think is having an impact. But also on top of that, not just the tariffs, the monthly candle close. This is where the whales, the bulls and the bears have that battle between one another. Because of course, if the price of Bitcoin were to close above 110, the monthly candle, this sets it up for a very interesting month. But in a grand scheme of things, since April, we have seen Bitcoin, the largest asset, go up 50%. And not only did it go 50%, hit a new all-time high. And since then, we're seeing a retracement of only 6.8%, which is more than normal. So now if you're looking at the price of XRP, let's pull out the XRP's price. Again, look at it. We are still within the 38.2. And we could be going down to 207. I spoke to you guys about that, I think, in my last night update, and that's still on the table. But the beauty of us accumulating within this range, obviously extending our strength around this 38.2, this just makes it better when the prices do go down. It's not going to see those major swings towards the downside. You are seeing that exact same support that we have built up through the past few months is really playing out. Yes, some people call it a stable coin, but that's on them. If you don't have patience in this space, then I think crypto might not be for you. But again, it's still in the 38.2 fib zone. It went down to 213. Obviously, like I said, significant amount of support, but wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin does not hold around the level where it is. We could see this really come into reality in the very near future, which again is only about a 4.33% move. So I would suggest watch Bitcoin very closely, especially dominance, because if dominance breaks towards a new yearly high and Bitcoin were to drop below 102, I think we do retest potentially even the $1.92 if that were to happen. So that's why I'm saying pay very close attention to this. But in a grand scheme of things, you look how far XRP has come. I know a lot of people overlook this, but at the end of the day, patience is your number one key to follow. Love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.